what's your big takeaway from this season? First year starter, ups and downs. What's your big picture takeaway from this year?
I think overall, personally as a team, I think just being more consistent. I think to win in this league, and I'm still very young and I'm still learning. But to win in this league, you need to be able to produce every game. You need to be able to produce, really every quarter, every time you get the ball, you need to expect to produce. So I think as a team, we made plays throughout the year at times and did some good things, but we didn't do enough of it at key points in the game, and I think that goes for me as well, just being more consistent and executing more consistently.
In college, you were a part of a veteran group, and then you were also part of a younger group. Looking at this team here, it's a young group that's trying to figure out ways to win. How do you find that balance, or how do guys find that balance? Like, hey, we got a young team, we're trying to build, but we're also trying to win. Where is that tough to do at this level?
I think we certainly can't use being young or being inexperienced as an excuse. I think when you look at the league, there are plenty of young teams who are winning, who are finding ways to win, and we've got to do that. I think we'll continue to improve with every game, and like you said, myself, the younger guys who've played a lot this year will benefit from that, and hopefully improve going forward. So that's a challenge, is to make sure we do that, but at the same time, we can't use that as an excuse or use that to look over a lot of the mistakes that were made. We need to correct those, work on those, and make sure they don't happen again.
Can you take us through what happened on the play where there were like two fumbles, I think, with the snap and then the ball?
Yeah, we just dropped the snap and then fumbled. So costly mistake at a key point in the game.
Do you think that everyone harps on fumbles? Do you think that's one of the biggest things that needs to go better for you as you look forward into your second season?
Yeah, I think so. I think I think that's certainly clear to me. That it's something I need to work on and improve. I think holding on the ball, making good decisions when I am throwing the ball. I think all that stuff is key to our success and something that I need to improve on.
What do you think you proved to people this first season, especially people who might have doubted 6th overall and all that?
I don't know. Not sure I've thought about that a whole lot. I think it's just as a team we didn't weren't able to prove much. I think as a team we like I said, flashed at times, but we weren't consistent enough, and I think I'm certainly included in that.
How much did you feel that you progressed from week one, your first start, to where you are standing today?
I think I've feel like I've learned a lot. I feel like I've progressed a lot and improved a lot in a lot of ways, but at the same time, there are things to work on, things to continue to improve on, and I understand that. But looking back to week one or I guess it was week 3, I think I feel like I've come a long way.
Take 2 more.
How valuable was it to have Eli as your support? I'm gonna call you backup, whatever you want to call him.
Yeah, Eli was huge for my growth, my development. I think it's obviously he's a legendary player, and there's a reason, because he understands the game. He's done it for a long time. He's seen a lot, and lucky to be able to learn from him and just spend time with him, and I've been fortunate in that with that.
What's the biggest lesson you've learned from head coach Pat Shurmur?
I think a number of things. I think since I've gotten here, Coach Shurmur has supported me and worked with me. I think he's been he's been instrumental for my growth and development. I think whether it was a good performance or a bad performance, I felt like he was always has been supportive of me this season, and I certainly support him and believe in him as a coach. I think he's a tremendous football coach.
So Penny, Elijah was out early with a back. Kind of took us out of some groupings when your fullback goes out, but we made do. And then Pio, they're looking at his Achilles. I don't have any information on that, but end of a long year. I think you watched our guys fought and battled. You know, we had a couple mistakes there in the second half. They kind of let the score stretch out, but they continued to battle, and I've talked about that all year. You know, we're not a good enough team yet to win those close games, but someday we will be. And I'm proud of those guys. I told the young players that by the way that the roster was structured this year, it was a gift. It was a gift to them to be able to, because they were our best players, to be able to play as much football as they did. And at some point here in middle of February, they'll be sitting on their couch and they're going to look back and shake their head and say, holy cow, what happened? And then they need to use it as motivation to have a great offseason and come back stronger than ever, so that in these close games we can find a way to make enough plays to win them. Got no problem with the way they trained. You all year long you didn't get a chance to watch these guys practice. They practiced hard. They practiced intentionally. Got no problem with how hard they play. We just got to find a way to make more plays and win more in the critical situations in games that are critical to winning. And I think this group, as we come together and add more pieces, we'll be able to do that. So that I'll take your questions.
Have you heard any assurances from ownership that you'll be the head coach next year to see these guys get better and try to win those close games?
I haven't had those types of conversations. If and when I do, I'm not going to talk to you about it. At some point, what is said will be revealed. If I'm back, I'm looking forward to working with this young talent. If I'm not, whoever's coaching this team has got a great group of young players. The dead money goes away. There's going to be cap space. We got picks. So there's ways to improve the team. So if I'm not here, that's what the new coach has to look forward to. If I am here, I can't wait to get back to work. So that's about as honest and clear as I can make it. But I will say this. I don't have anything planned to talk with ownership at this point. Typically, that's what you do when the season's over. And I will never share with you what those conversations reveal. Okay?
What would be your defense or strongest defense of why you deserve to continue coaching this group?
Well, that's, again, my conversation for ownership when we have those conversations, right? I think we didn't win enough games, right? And I own that, right? I don't make any excuses for that. But I do know that there's things that happened this year where this team improved in a lot of ways. And I feel like it's only going to get better. You know, the structure of how we're built will be able to improve now quickly. And you saw a lot of young players out there playing hard that will only improve with time. So that's where we're at.
Did you talk about the growth of Daniel Jones as included in these young players?
No question. Certainly. You know, I think, we in our tenure here, we took a quarterback in the second year, and he was able to play 12 games against really good competition and battle and do many, many good things that are only going to help him in next year and beyond.
What's one thing you would work with on Daniel? What would be the top priority in the offseason?
Oh, I think you'll work with everything, from his footwork. The fundamentals of playing the position you work on every day, and you just continue to do that. I think he'll be able to sit back and look at all the plays that we called in situations and maybe think about where the ball might go, or if it should go someplace quicker, or if I shouldn't, all the things that you look at. So it's a big basket of things, I would say.
Pat, you've mentioned several, often about all the young players on the roster and things like that, and very often they were the best players you had available. I mean, given all the youth on the team and the fact that this was a rebuilding situation, is it fair to just look at the wins and losses and say, this is who stays and this is who goes?
Because of the wins and losses?
Is that
Well,
the-
we're all part of this, and we all own the fact that we didn't win enough games. I think we evaluate what this team looks like moving forward and make the changes necessary and move on. I think that's what any team does. We're one of the 20 teams that aren't in the playoffs. The goal is to next year to be one of the 12 so that you're in a position to compete for it all. There's 19 other teams, 19 other locker rooms very similar to this. May have won a couple more games than we did, but the reality of it is, just like us, where this was their last game, and that's where it's real. But the evaluation of who goes and who stays, I don't know. We got to figure that out. And it sounds like by your questioning, it might start with me. So we'll figure that out as we go.
When John spoke before the season, he talked about needing to see progress this year. Like that was sort of the litmus test. What do you say to the progress that this team has
I'll
made?
talk about what that means when we have a chance to visit. That's what I'll say. I'm really not going to share any more along those lines at this time publicly.
Pat, would you say you're surprised that these questions about you being back next year are coming up at all?
No, not at all. No, this is a wins business. I get it. We've been talking about this for, I think, about 6 weeks, right? You've been asking me the same questions for 6 weeks. So I don't know if I'm getting good at answering them, but I'm answering them a lot, So that's the reality of this business. When you don't win, that's the line of questioning. And I get that.
Do you have a problem with the fact that you've been the only one available to answer those questions?
Nope. Not at all. We're playing football now, and the way this works is I visit with you 5 times a week, and so no, that's just the way that's the way this goes.
What did you say to your team after the game? And they obviously know that they're not sure what you're feeling.
No. I won't share. I share bits and pieces of it, but the general message, aside from the fact that tomorrow we will exit, and they've done everything. They've tried to do everything right all year, and so let's do tomorrow right as well. And again, I will say this about these settings, including the locker room. There's a lot of faces in there that I don't recognize. And most of my messaging to the team is internal. And so when we get back to the building, some of what I want to expound upon, I'll share with them then.
Pat, you've said that before.
Take 2 more.
Who are you referring to?
Have you ever been in there?
Not one of your
You can barely move. There's so many people with cameras and microphones and all that, and I think there should be a little bit of intimacy to a locker room after a game, and it's just not the case. And so, if there's something I really want to share with the team, I do it in private.
How much solace can you take?
That's why. They ought to invite you in sometime. Huh?
How much solace can you take to the fact that at least this group, they played hard for you. You didn't really throw a big clunker in there late in the season. Is that something that you could sort of hang your hat on?
No, there are no moral victories for me. My thoughts were when we scored, Saquon had the long run, we scored and went 17-17. Okay, how are we gonna win this thing at this point? And that's where I'm at. But
Take one more.
So you would say that, based on what I've heard you say right now, that you've left the team in a better place than you found it?
I think so. I do. These guys battled, and we can talk about the dynamics of how the team was built and where it's going. We're building a team, A lot of dead money this year, a lot of cap space next year, and some prime picks where we can use the draft wisely and make decisions on making this team better with impact players. You need to have a quarterback. You need to be able to play defense. You need to be able to run the ball. And on defense, you need to have impact players that, when the game's on the line, can do things. And we have some strewn throughout this roster, and we'll have a chance to go get more. I think that's exciting.
Pat, is head coach, why don't you have control over who's in the locker room when you're talking to the team?
Because this is the NFL, that's all.
How hard is the reality of 4-12?
It sucks. No one want to be 4-12, but no matter if we were 4-12 or 8-8, at the end of the day, we're not going to the playoffs. And that's your whole objective of the season. And all season, that's what you train for, is compete for a championship. It sucks, but you gotta let this stuff burn and feel your fire, and learn from it. And hopefully, it helps build us and build character for us to compete next year.
How much pride do you take in you set the giant record with 1,000 yards in each of your first 2 seasons in the NFL?
No, mean nothing. 5-11, 4-12. That's the only thing that matters.
What went well in the 68-yard touchdown play? Why did that work so well?
We were talking about on the sideline, me and the running backs and all the coaches, and you could see they were kind of selling out early to stop the run, and they kept diving themselves inside. We all felt that if we were to steal the edge and block it right and get a seam, I just had to do my job and try to make someone miss and try to take it to the crib, and we were able to do that.
How tough was their defensive front to run against?
They're always tough. They're always tough. I love going against those guys. It's always fun. We're always talking crap to each other out of love and out of respect. They're a hell of a team. Like I said, it's always fun to go against those guys. Always a tough matchup.
How would you sum up your season just with
Disappointed.
And why? What was the thing that bothered you the most?
We didn't make the playoffs. I'm not trying to be like really short, but that's just what it is, At the end of the day, no matter if we're 4-12 or not, there's 20 teams that are making the playoffs, and those 20 teams, we all fail the mission. And then there's only going to be one team that will win the Super Bowl, so those other 31 teams all fail the mission.
Saquon, obviously, as you know, when things like this happen in terms of this many losses, there are consequences in terms of people losing their jobs. What are your thoughts on what this could mean for the coaching staff here?
Yeah, asked me this question already. I said that I believe in the coaching staff. Obviously, it's a result-based sport and business, but you can't point the finger at one person. There's a lot of things in this game that I could have done better, that this person to that person and this person, that person could have done better. At the end of the day, it's a team sport. It's a team sport. We all got to find a way to win games, but at the end of the day, whatever decision does happen, that's above me. I don't get paid for that. My mindset is come here every single day and work and try to get better.
I feel like this team has played off each other. The offense plays off defensive success, defense plays off offensive success. How much does that kind of speak to just how close this group has been throughout this
I would disagree.
Yeah?
I would think that's the problem. I think that's where we got to be better next year or whenever the football starts again for us. We got to play complementary football. That's what we haven't been doing this year. Going to where you were saying, where the energy and how we are the team, and the friendships that we have is it's amazing. We all respect one another. We all hang out outside of football. We have that. We have that mindset. But complementary football is something that we haven't been doing well this year. Special teams playing here, offense playing here, defense playing here, vice versa, and vice versa, and vice versa. When you look at the teams that are in playoffs or that going to be competing in the playoffs, I would say they do that really well. That's what we didn't do, in my opinion, well all this season.
How frustrating is it to have a season end like this after 5 seasons?
Definitely frustrating, but it doesn't matter how it ended. No matter if we lost or we won, I was going to sit here and tell you the same thing. Yes, it would have felt better to get a win, finish the season off strong. That's what the mindset. That was the goal. But at the end of the day, we're not going to playoffs. No matter what, there was nothing that we could have did to change that. Only thing we were able to do is finish the season off strong and spoil someone else's playoff hopes, and we weren't able to do that. So no matter what, I don't care if it was 9-7. I don't care if it was 1-15. We didn't make the playoffs, so at the end of the day, it's going to be a frustrating and disappointing season.
Yeah. What did you see in the growth of Daniel Jones this year?
Heck of a player. He's a heck of a player. He's going to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league. That's a fact. I know that for sure. Not just because of his talent. He's very talented, but put his talent aside, his work ethic, the way he comes to work, one of the last people in, one of the first people in, one of the last people to leave. You can see how passionate, how much he actually cares about this sport. He's rare. He's very rare. He's going to be very special. And for all the ones that doubted him or didn't think he was the right draft pick, it doesn't even matter because he's not going to prove that to you guys, but you guys will see it. And I think you saw flashes this year, but as time comes, you'll see more of it.
So did you get to say anything to Eli at all?
Huh?
Did you get to say anything to Eli at the end of an era here?
I'm going to see him tomorrow.
So we're gonna talk tomorrow.
Okay.
I asked for a jersey. He was able to get. I was able to get one. I'm able to get one of his jerseys. I gave him my last jersey of the season this year. Big fan of. Always been a big fan of Eli. Much respect. He helped me not only as a player but as a person. Helped develop my game to another level. Just seeing it feel differently. Understanding just how he came to work through ups and downs. You respect that not only as a player, as a person, but as a man also. So, real thankful to have Eli in my life. And like I said, but I'll see him tomorrow. We're friends. I have his number. I'm pretty sure we're talking all season. So.
Saquon, do you think this team, even though you didn't win as many games as last year, is building something? And if so, will that building be interrupted if there's a whole new coaching regime?
That's a great question. That's a great question. Yes, I do think that we have something here. I don't think, I know that we have something special here. And, we just got to continue to stick to the process and continue to believe into it. But with the coaching staff or whatever, I already said what I had to say. I believe in those guys. I respect those guys. They helped turn me into a better player. But that decision is above me. So just got to continue coming to work every single day. And that's all we can do as players.
Have you talked to guys in the league who've had, been in the league a little bit and had coaching changes and things like that?
No, because that's not our focus. Our focus is not whether we're getting a new coach or not. Or we all. You heard me say it, you heard DJ say it. Everyone has talked. You heard us say it that we believe in the coaching staff here. Hey Giants fans, Saquon Barkley here. You want to see more videos? Subscribe below.